Hey YouTubers, this is Nick. I'm going to be doing a vlog today about Innistrad. With the new Magic set coming out Sunday, I thought it would be pretty cool to touch on just some of the basics. So with the new set, we're talking 3 new mechanics. Well, mostly 2. We're talking transform cards, which are the new double-sided cards, which should be rather interesting, as well as morbid, which is an ability that it looks at death matters, whether a creature's hit the graveyard or not this turn. With the new 2012 rulings, it's now called if the creature dies to whatever. It uses a little tiddlywink or something to represent it. Little line thing on the card sometimes, but not once it's printed. Alright, moving on. Alright, third kind of mechanic, we do have some tribal here. But that is not the predominant thing we're looking at. Wow, this white balance is off. Alright, so first thing we're going to be looking at, transform, is double-sided cards. We're talking werewolves mostly, some vampires, some humans, mostly werewolves. With werewolves, they all trigger if you had 2 or more spells cast last turn, go from the werewolf side to the human side. If no spells were cast last turn, go from the human side to the werewolf side. Fairly simple. Problem comes in when you start dealing with 2-sided cards in a deck where this is the first time they've actually taken the back of the Magic card and they have changed it. This originally was supposed to be something that they did, talking back alpha before Arabian Nights even came out. Richard Garfield wanted to do different sets, different expansions, and he wanted each one to have a unique back. Now, mind you, he didn't think they'd really be played together, and until he actually thought about that, he didn't want to do the same back. Alpha was originally going to be just Magic the Gathering, and then Arabian Nights was going to be Magic Arabian Nights. So when that set came out and they used the same back, they decided that they wanted to make a trading card game where you could access it from all sets. So now with Innistrad, they've gone back and broken that. We're now looking at double-sided cards where the face is both sides. How do you play it? Either you gotta use a proxy card, which has a checklist of all the double-sided cards from that set, and you put that in your deck, you shuffle that in, or you start looking at putting an opaque back sleeve. Something with either a design on it, like a mana symbol, a card picture, or something more boring actually, and just getting white or blue or whatever. I personally have a lot of blue sleeves, probably 1,000 of them for my cube. So, I don't know, maybe sleeves for me. I might go with the proxies, I'll have to see how it plays out. I personally don't like the transform in that you either have to be playing with a different card in your deck than the one you actually want to play, or you have to be looking at removing the cards from your sleeves consistently. Now, bear in mind, that is not actually the worst thing you could be doing, but you don't want to be unsleeving your cards all day long. The Morbid is a new ability. It's a mechanic, actually, not really an ability. If a creature died this turn, you can use Morbid abilities. Anything from Hollow Hedge Scavenger, which gains you 5 life when it enters play if a creature died this turn, to Skurzdag Cultist, I believe is the name, where it needs a creature to die, so you can tap 3 guys, including him as 1, to get a 5/5 Black Demon. Now, personally, I think Morbid is going to be fun. Reminds me a lot of Bloodthirst from M12, but we'll have to see. Tribal in this set is mostly limited to minor cards. We do have about 4 tribal zombie cards, and then some commons that are functionally better if you have zombies, but not huge. Mostly there's just odd cards that sort of help out the various tribes. First new thing with tribal though, they did have human tribal, which they said they wouldn't do when they did the new creature update back in 6th edition. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they've actually gone ahead and done that. Alright, so next time I'm going to stop and actually take a look at some of the individual cards and what the color pie looks like. So stay tuned.